I was born in Ohio and Arizona. I grew up in the United States of America. I was in 4-H for a little while. I had few friends, but very close homies, and a veteran named Chuck and his wife, Olga. They awarded me an I Dare You award and gave me a book. I volunteered, I babysat for what we called in the 90s, for who we called in the 90s, a stripper who had a bedroom with a sword on the wall. I still remember, along with a pretty baby who is as sweet as I could still have a memory about when I was in junior high. She drove me home, the mom, every night for a short amount of time. I babysat in a Mercedes Benz. I flew to Washington State and then moved with my sister to this part of the country where I now live. I went to college and started out at Bothell, Cascadia Community College. I worked with a diverse, obnoxious, rambunctious, and brilliant group of students who helped me plan events, and play in sports on teams I formed for those who were learners at a school I adored. Mr. Shapiro gave me a visionary award. Sabrina Moss wrote me a letter of recommendation. Aaron Blakeney gave me a book, All the Places You Will Go. I went to Bellingham. I was a volunteer chore assistant for Mary Johns, who had been abused, shot in her stomach, and was slowly suffering from a cancer. Eventually causing her death. I helped out in Ms. McDonald's elementary classroom with her ESL students, helping them with homework and class assignments. I hosted the first ever home video day in Bellingham at their archives. I went to the Telluride Student Symposium and stood next to Nicolas Cage and noticed Viggo Mortensen walking probably towards a mountain in silence. I was an urban ministry fellow at New Horizons Ministries, now New Horizons in Belltown, where I studied neuroscience and began what I have finished now. Helping the first GED recipient at the nonprofit work towards a goal of a drug-free life. And then eventually I was a nanny and a babysitter. Taking care of children for mostly and almost all technology families in Seattle who usually had very little food and problems I still can't reconcile after studying neuroscience for so long. And lastly, met a crazy, wild, elder Tibetan named Rigzin Tinke, who taught me crazy wisdom in what His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama calls compassion. Opening his shop, closing his shop for nearly 4 years, tirelessly learning Om Mani Padme Hum.